Hello and welcome to Left, Right and Centre. I'm Sarah Jacob. It has been a super Sunday from Gujarat to Delhi. Top netas slugging it out in both states. With just 4 days to go for the Gujarat Assembly elections, contenders are going all out to campaign with top faces. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Aadmi Party national convener Arvind Kejriwal descending on the diamond city of Surat, which sends 12 MLAs to the state's 182-member assembly and which will vote in the first phase on the 1st of December. Now, Surat has traditionally swayed towards the ruling BJP, with textile and diamond merchants backing the party. But the AAP hopes to take some of the sheen off this time round. Now, today, while Prime Minister Modi kept his guns aimed squarely at the Congress, the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal made a written assertion that the AAP will form government in Gujarat. Meanwhile, in the national capital, the BJP rolled out a carpet bomb drive for the MCD polls, which have become a prestige battle amidst an anti-incumbency claim. The BJP is pulling out all the stops, even bringing down national stars to hit the MCD campaign trail. Most of them seem to be talking about the Prime Minister's achievements at the centre, despite the BJP being in power in Delhi's municipality for the past 15 years. And that's not all. Amidst a close contest between the traditional players, there's a surprising twist. The AIMIM president, Assaduddin Owaisi, entering the Delhi campaign with a blistering attack on the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal during a rally in Delhi today. Could Owaisi's entry into the poll fray cause a dent to AAP's prospects?
तब दिल्ली में बैठी कांग्रेस सरकार आतंकियों को छुड़ाने में अपनी पूरी ताकत लगा देती थी, लेकिन कांग्रेस की सरकार आतंक को नहीं, मोदी को टारगेट करने में लगी रही।
भाइयों बहनों, आदिवासियों सम्मान कार्य कांग्रेस કર્યું નથી।
एक बात चलती है, एक बार अगर झूठ बोलेंगे लोग सुन लेंगे, 2 बार भी बोलेंगे तो भी सुन लेंगे। कितने बार झूठ बोलेंगे? झूठ पर झूठ, ये झूठों के सरदार है।
कांग्रेस का वोटर ढूंढने से भी नहीं मिल रहा। जैसे एक ऐड आता है ना, ढूंढते रह जाओगे, वैसे ढूंढने से भी कांग्रेस का वोटर कहीं नहीं मिल रहा। तीसरा, भारतीय जनता पार्टी का वोटर बहुत बड़ी संख्या में, बहुत बड़ी तादाद में आम आदमी पार्टी को वोट देने जा रहा है। गुजरात में आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार बन रही है। ये आज आप नोट कर लीजिए, ये भविष्यवाणी भी नोट कर लीजिए और ये भविष्यवाणी सही होगी।
ये जमानत जब्त कराने का रिकॉर्ड बनाया किसने? तो आम आदमी पार्टी ने। झूठ बोलने का रिकॉर्ड बनाया तो आम आदमी पार्टी ने। भ्रष्टाचार के नए आयाम स्थापित किए तो आम आदमी पार्टी ने। और बेशर्मी की भी कि आपके भ्रष्ट मंत्री जेल में है, आप ईमानदारी का सर्टिफिकेट अरविंद केजरीवाल जी देते हैं।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी अब वीडियो बनाने की कंपनी बन गई है, तो जनता, दिल्ली की जनता इस बार ये तय करेगी कि उनको वीडियो बनाने की कंपनी चाहिए कि सरकार अच्छी चलाने के लिए और उनके बच्चों का भविष्य बनाने के लिए एक पार्टी चाहिए।
By popular perception, the Aam Aadmi Party, if you look at what they've done in Delhi and what they've done in Punjab, is the most corrupt outfit in India.
डिस्पेंसरी नहीं है, गंदगी के अंबार है, सफाई का कोई इंतजाम नहीं है, रोड बराबर नहीं है, मगर इसके बावजूद भी आपके हथेली में जन्नत दिखाने का काम भाजपा और छोटा रिचार्ज की पार्टी करती है।
All right, so joining us on Left, Right and Centre tonight, Reena Gupta, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, Rohan Gupta, spokesperson of the Congress, Ranveer Singh Patania, spokesperson of the BJP, and Shivan Vij, columnist, joining us. We have AAP, who's entered the electoral arena of Gujarat and a clear indication of its national aspirations, also keen to make a dominance in Delhi with the MCD polls. Ranveer Singh Patania, if AAP manages to win seats in the Gujarat Assembly, then Arvind Kejriwal's party will be designated as a national party. You need to unmute, sir.
Yes, I think I am audible.
Yeah.
Sir, history is testimony to the fact that but for speaking lies, speaking untruths, distorting, diverting, Mr. Kejriwal and Aam Aadmi Party has been able to do nothing. We saw the national headlines, Aam Aadmi Party to make a scratch in Uttar Pradesh. They fought election on 350 seats, and in 349 their deposits were forfeited. We saw Goa sprung and struck with banners and big placard, big advertisements, and in Goa also, out of
All right.
39 seats
But
they
let
contested.
me ask you, sir, in
Their
response,
deposits-
AAP points out that you're bringing out union ministers, you're bringing out chief ministers, some states as far as Telangana on MP, on the MCD polls in Delhi. But let me ask you, the AAP says the BJP is completely rattled, yet you have the Prime Minister only focusing on the Congress in his statement today. The Congress is not even campaigning in Gujarat.
Sarah, so far as Gujarat is concerned, keep one thing on record, that Aam Aadmi Party would not be able to open its single-digit account in Gujarat. And so far as MCD elections in New Delhi are concerned, people are voting, people will vote for Bharatiya Janata Party, people will vote for development, people will vote against a government which believes in double standards, which believes in showing the garden paths, which blows hot and cold in
Let's
one
get
breath.
Shivam Vij in here. If AAP is to believe, then Mr. Kejriwal has gotten under the skin of the BJP because of this frequent visits to Gujarat, aggressive outreach, and the BJP is wary of not just the AAP's ability to cut both into its the votes of the Congress, but yet we had Prime Minister Modi focusing today on attacking the traditional rival instead of the AAP. What do you make of that? What's behind that move?
Yeah, I think the speech by Prime Minister Modi attacking Congress and other attacks on the Congress party by Home Minister Amit Shah are an attempt to show that the election is between BJP and Congress, whether it's in Delhi or in Gujarat. It's trying to say that a main opponent is Congress, Aam Aadmi Party, not in the race. Unfortunately, this is not reflected in BJP sort of campaign and response as a whole. The BJP we've seen has been doing press conferences against the Aam Aadmi Party, doing sting operations. There have these tax raids and arrests. The BJP as a whole seems to be giving too much attention to the Aam Aadmi Party. And at the same time, the BJP seems to be worried about giving them attention, and therefore the Prime Minister has to attack Congress to say, no, listen, but the main opponent is the Congress, not the Aam Aadmi Party.
So they're trying to, they would prefer to be running up against the Congress and preferably a Congress under Rahul Gandhi.
Correct. I think the main reason why the BJP is rattled by the Aam Aadmi Party is not because the BJP thinks Aam Aadmi Party is taking a bit too many BJP votes. It's not. It's taking away maybe an eligible part of BJP's votes. The BJP is rattled because the BJP would not like the Aam Aadmi Party as an opponent, because Aam Aadmi Party is not the Congress party. Very simply, Aam Aadmi Party has a more credible face in Kejriwal than Rahul Gandhi. Aam Aadmi Party has shown how it can defeat the BJP right in the national capital. It can defeat Modi Shah under their noses in the national capital, not once but twice, with thumping majorities. Aam Aadmi Party has shown that it took them time in Punjab, but they swept Punjab. I think the Aam Aadmi Party has the capability to be a more effective opposition than the Congress.
Reena Gupta, yes. The AAP is the challenge, whether or not the Prime Minister Modi will admit it and give you the legitimacy that they wanted to deny. But if Arvind Kejriwal's expansion plans in all these states where the party is attempting to grow, that will take a significant hit if AAP does perform poorly in Gujarat. There's a lot at stake here for you.
Sarah, it is very clear that Aam Aadmi Party and Mr. Arvind Kejriwal are the only ones that can take on BJP and defeat BJP. And this was very clear from how BJP has been behaving the past few months, Sarah. First, they tried to postpone the elections of MCD in Delhi, and then the strategy is to do the elections at the same time in Gujarat and in Delhi. So, because they know that Aam Aadmi Party is a small party, we have limited resources. But, Sarah, the people of Delhi and the people of Gujarat are tired of Bharatiya Janata Party. In Gujarat, in 27 years, they have not even managed to make 27 decent hospitals or 27 good quality schools. And this is the reason why Mr. Arvind Kejriwal in his rallies is getting such an amazing response, because people know that whatever Aam Aadmi Party talks about,
all right,
whatever
and what about the fact that you have Mr. Owaisi now entering the fray and taking on the Chief Minister here in Delhi? Is that a concern for you? It will cut into your votes?
Not at all, Sarah. Mr. Owaisi also is a team B of Bharatiya Janata Party. We have seen that they use each other and they try to polarize elections. We saw that they did the same thing in Gopalganj in Bihar. But the people of Delhi are very clear this time around. Neither the Congress nor Mr. Owaisi's party nor the Bharatiya Janata Party, MCDs is total clean one-side sweep for Aam Aadmi Party.
Let's get in Rohan Gupta of the Congress. Arvind Kejriwal says the BJP is agitated, but the Congress is nowhere.
Result day come, we will see where is Congress. See, if you talk about Gujarat, I know Mr. Kejriwal came with big hype. They wanted to support BJP. Every news channel was talking that they will split the Congress votes and it will be a situation where it will be a clean majority with BJP. But things have changed now. You go to ground, you ask anybody in Gujarat, now euphoria has fizzled out, because after declaration of candidate, they don't have workers on ground. You can create media atmosphere for some time, but if you don't have force on ground, and Gujarat is smart enough to understand these are the parties which comes before elections and again goes back. Aam Aadmi Party in 2017. They were not visible in Gujarat for 4.5 years. So people of Gujarat, they are smart enough, they will not
having the big names come into Gujarat. You think that's going to pay off?
No, I don't think so. No, see, if you see Congress this time, if you see the way our curve has upped, we worked on a micro strategy this time where our people, our workers went door to door. We conveyed our 8 promises to the people of Gujarat. 1.5 crore patrikas were distributed across all the households of, and now you are seeing the results of their campaign. Today BJP's narrative is not setting. Rahul ji came, he addressed 5 sabhas here,
but
and now you see the people of Gujarat, they are
all right, I want to just
this.
get a question across to Shivam Vij. Shivam, it's clear that the AAP gets the majority of its votes from disenchanted Congress voters, but this is the first time you're taking on the BJP directly, because in Punjab they were taking on the Congress. So this is truly a challenge for the AAP and a test of their mettle. Are they punching above their weight?
Well, I think that's a very good point, Sarah. I think the Aam Aadmi Party has been punching below its waist. Below its weight. It could have done a lot more, given that the decline the Congress Party has been in. And I'm in Ahmedabad right now. I've just traveled 3 days in Saurashtra, and what I found was that Muslim and Dalits, core voters of the Congress Party, are moving to the Aam Aadmi Party in a very big way. And I think that's very significant because Muslims in particular, I was skeptical since the Aam Aadmi Party has lately been doing a center-right kind of positioning. I was not sure how Muslim voters are responding to that. Yeah. They may be sticking to the Congress Party. But what I found was that they are moving to the Aam Aadmi Party in a very big way. And same for Dalit voters. I think the Aam Aadmi Party is actually being underestimated in Gujarat. I don't know about seats. The seats is going to be very complicated this time because of the split between Aam Aadmi Party and Congress. But in terms of vote share, the Aam Aadmi Party, I think, is going to surprise everyone in Gujarat, or at least in Saurashtra.
But what about, the fact that the Congress vote share in 2017 was 41%?
Yes, this was an election where they did very well because of multiple agitations. There was GST, there was Dalit agitation, the Patels were upset. And after that, they got 41. But even otherwise, Congress has been doing very well in Gujarat in terms of vote share. That's because it was the only option. Since 1983, 1983 is the last time they won an election in Gujarat.
Got it.
So, for decades, you keep voting for the Congress Party, and the Congress Party cannot win. It does not speak up for voters. It wakes up before the election. So a number of voters I met said we would rather try Aam Aadmi Party because we know BJP is winning this election any which way, right? But voters are fed up not of BJP so much as they are fed up of the Congress Party's inactivity.
Rohan Gupta, the BJP is going to win this election anyway, says Shivam Vij. But this huge chunk, 41% of the Congress vote share in 2017, Congress willing to give it up without a fight?
I think Mr. Kejriwal is saying that his party will win, and now we hear that BJP is going to win. No, that's not going to be the case. You will see on 8th of December, the anger on ground is very different. The Gujarat elections this time are fought on local issues. For the people of Gujarat, BJP has been trying to set narrative of communal agenda of Pakistan and all, which is not getting in minds of people, because people of Gujarat, they have decided to vote for change and they are going for Congress this time.
China VT. All right, Mr. Pathania of the BJP. So you have the Aam Aadmi Party that one would assume then is going to get that 41% chunk plus their own votes that they would have attracted on their own.
Not at all, sir. Not at all. Not 40% votes. I said that they will not be able to open up their account. This is a political party.
But how can you say that, sir? The fact is that the Congress vote share in 2017 was 41%. So that is an obvious chunk that someone has to fill. There's a vacuum there. Either the Congress gets it, because there is a group of people who have consistently voted not for the BJP.
Doesn't matter, sir. My respectful submission is that we believe in the politics of development. We don't believe in the politics of hoaxes and hallucinations. We have tried to change the virtual, we could say, the situation as on ground in India. I'll just cite one example. If you take India, pan-India, we see, if we see, let us see Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. We have given houses to 1.20 crore people in India, and out of it, 80% are women. We have given we have earmarked a 3.6 trillion budget for Jal Jeevan Mission. So we believe in the politics of development. My point is that whatever the vote Congress is failing, whatever the vote goes out from the Congress chunk, it will fall in the BJP's lap one fine day. That's why every channel, the pollsters, they are predicting that Bharatiya Janata Party is going shall have a smooth sail in Gujarat. We won't find it difficult.
All right. Well, lots of tall claims being made today on the ground. We'll of course have to wait and watch as that cliche goes. But thank you all for joining us on this show. I want to just quickly move across to the big international story. Hundreds of people taking to the streets of Beijing and Shanghai in a rare outpouring of public anger against the state, calling for the lifting of lockdowns that have confined many to their homes for more than 3 months. There was a deadly fire in the Urumqi district that has become the latest catalyst of public anger. Protesters are demanding to know if COVID restrictions hampered the rescue and relief operations that prevented residents from escaping their apartments and their buildings that were on fire. Protests against China's restrictive COVID-19 measures spread to several cities on Saturday night. Protesters displayed public defiance, fanned by anger over a deadly fire in the western Xinjiang region. Videos posted on social media appear to show protesters in Shanghai chanting anti-Communist Party and anti-President Xi slogans at the middle Urumqi Road. They held up signs reading Urumqi, November 24th. Those who died rest in peace, while paying tribute to the victims. A relative of one of the victims of the fire claimed that the building is in close proximity to fire stations and hospitals. Yet it took the authorities a couple of hours to reach the scene as the building was under lockdown due to COVID measures.
Kurabetti bu insanlar. Bu ölülerin takıp, binanın üstünü takıp, ot kesik harus olmay, net saatin ki gelgandın kelip, otucağına kıyafette, ölüp boğandın keyin.
China is adhering to a zero COVID policy even while much of the world tries to coexist with the coronavirus. China's cases have hit record highs for days, with nearly 40,000 new infections recorded on Saturday. And joining us now from Hong Kong is Andrew KP Leung, independent China strategist. Mr. Leung, thanks for your time. We've been seeing these videos on social media and they quickly disappear, as is the case with, social media videos in China, where you have protesters chanting, lift the lockdown for all of China. At some point, you even hear some protesters saying, down with the Chinese Communist Party, down with Xi Jinping, free Urumqi. These are rare public protests against the Chinese leadership. What does this mean for the iron hand of President Xi as he enters his precedent-defying third term in power?
let's put things in perspective. So far, China has been relatively successful by comparison with other countries, considering China's very large population. For example, even now, China is registering something like 40,000 affected cases. But then if you look at Japan, with 60,000 cases, with almost 1/11 or 1/12 of China's population. So if you apply Japan's case, China should be registering at least 12 times more cases by now. But of course, China and medical facilities are not as advanced as Japan. And also, a lot of the population are concentrated in large cities and many more vulnerable groups
but Mr.
in China.
Leung, this China's strict zero COVID policy, how is that affecting the iron hand of President Xi? Because clearly we're seeing increasing protests, people are losing patience, the rest of the world is learning to live with COVID. China has chosen a different path. How does that affect the leadership? How does that affect what has been seen as an iron hand for President Xi? For the first time, we hear protests, unheard of, rare to hear protests that even say down with President Xi.
Well, I mean, as recently as January this year, according to the world-renowned research institution, the Edelman Trust Barometer, ELEDMAN, based in New York. China's government has been held in high regard by its people, the top of the world. In January 2022, one of the reasons is the public seem to be very satisfied with the way China has been containing the pandemics, especially suppressing the deaths. But now, people's patience is beginning to wear thin, it seems. But of course, it is not represent the number of the protesters is not very large. But I think it should raise some alarm bells.
And is it, sir, Mr. Leung, is it raising alarm bells? Is the government concerned about this rising public anger? I think I read somewhere that they were loosening some of the restrictions in some places. I think there was a news conference held on Friday night to explain how firefighters actually responded to the blaze. So it seems they are aware of this anger on the ground.
Well, I think that the facts speak for themselves, as you can see from these reported images. Even though the numbers are not very large, but it's spreading to many other cities. And then, of course, the spectre, what happened many years before with the student protests on Tiananmen Square, and even more recently, the kind of protests in Hong Kong. Of course, it should be raising alarm bells. But the so-called zero COVID policy has been much misunderstood in the West. It's not as if the Beijing insists on achieving zero cases, but it consists of three separate dimensions. The first one is a very early detection. The second is early isolation and early treatment and early prevention. But that's why China has been relatively successful. But after 3 years, as I said, some people's patience is beginning to wear thin.
All right. Thank you so much. Some people's patience beginning to wear thin. Thank you for joining us on the big international story of the day. And of course, in the middle of all of this, also there's a guessing game where companies, investors, their policymakers, a lot of people have a lot of interests on the line, and they're all trying to figure out when the Chinese government will drop its strict virus restrictions, because that, of course, will have reverberations on the rest of the world. Thank you so much, Mr. Leung, for joining us. Thank you all for joining us on Left, Right and Centre.